6, we're back again. Kristi and Katie, your crime time friends. Stories, justice, laughs collide. True Crime Squad, come join the ride. Grab the clues, let's take a stand. For victims' voices, hand in hand. True Crime Squad, it's time to shine. Season 6, your turn, your time. True Crime Squad, where justice meets hilarity.
Hey everybody, and welcome to the True Crime Squad. This is Katie Weaver, and I'm going to be joined shortly, there we go, by my sister, co-host, and partner in crime, Kristi Brower.
Hey everybody!
Did you accidentally exit yourself?
I did, and I'm not even sure how I did it, but yeah, I did. I accidentally removed myself, and when that happened, then all my pictures disappeared, and like all screwed up. Anyway,
This
I'm
seems
fine.
like
I'm
Thursday.
Here. Hey everybody! Yes,
Yeah.
it does. My brain's a little tired. That's probably why. I don't know.
Well, I am glad you're here for sure.
Me too. Yes.
Are you busy getting ready to go camping?
Done the damn thing to get ready to go camping.
Oh, you have not? Oh,
No, but that's the motorhome life. There's
true.
not that much to do.
True. Okay, I'll give you that for sure.
Just spoiled mostly when it comes to these things, because easy peasy, man.
Yeah.
Rhonda's done some stuff. I haven't done anything yet. I gotta do some stuff, but yeah, I mean, we're getting ready.
I actually got up
I'm
this morning
excited.
and did all of my cooking. And also,
Wow.
I did cooking.
I've already done all my cooking too, because I'm not doing any
Oh, well, I mean, that solves that.
cooking, schmucking. I don't do cooking anymore.
I hear that. There were some things we actually wanted for this trip. Well, when my kids graduated from high school, every one of them, we made what we called a better than graduation cake.
Oh yeah.
And that's just to play on the, I don't know if do you guys make this cake, the better than sex cake? Which has been an ongoing joke for us that if you are, making a better than sex cake, somebody's doing something wrong. But at any rate, we always made a better than graduation cake. And so we are celebrating the high school graduation of our nephew Jack and the college graduation of our niece Mia. And so my kids were like, well, you have to make a better than graduation cake. And actually their mom is providing a cake for their party. But I went, well, I mean, I could just make one for us to eat over the weekend. So I made one of those. I had a recipe for lemon brownies that looked amazing. So I made those. Yeah. And then, of course, the
I'm bringing a key lime pie
obligatory
from
clam
Costco.
dip. Nice.
Ooh, yeah. Ooh, Aunt Rhonda will be so excited about the clam dip.
I know. I'm not allowed to come camping without the clam dip, so nothing super,
I don't cook anymore. I have a Costco membership.
I mean, me too. Okay, here's the better than graduation cake. And people do this differently. I don't know. I've had it a few different ways, but here's how I do it. You make a devil's food cake, and while it's still like fresh hot out of the oven, or just a chocolate cake, you poke it full of holes with a fork, and then you cover it in caramel ice cream topping, and then a layer of chocolate ice cream topping, or just like chocolate syrup. And some people also put a can of sweetened condensed milk. I don't, because partly for camping, because that is going to fall right apart, but also just because, man, that's a lot of sweet,
It's so sweet, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Unnecessary.
And then you put an entire container of Cool Whip on that, and then you sprinkle it with the Heath candy bar chunks, and then a little more chocolate syrup. So it is damn good. It is.
It is.
I mean, it's a pretty lazy cake to make, honestly. But
you know what else is really good? Costco's key lime pie.
Yes,
it's my favorite.
Yes, that is.
And I don't even have to make it. So that's what I'm bringing.
Sounds good. Yeah. Well, exciting. Well, we've had all kinds of excitement around here this morning because we moved the chicks and the guineas into their secondary home. And so, yeah, it's exciting. The dogs don't know what to do because they can access, not the chicks, but they can get up to their fence. And there's two layers of, or there's actually 3 layers of fence there to keep them from being able to get too close. But they were digging at it a little, so then Scott went out with cayenne pepper and went all the way around it to make sure they're not going to get wild and dig in there. It would be not good. But anyway, I thought I'd show you guys what the chicks look like in their little
I
forever
wonder who's
home.
going to learn that lesson first.
Yeah. Oh, well, that's not it.
That's not
That's
it.
Lori in her forever home. What am I doing?
No, it isn't. No, that's part of one of my cases.
Oh, it is. Oh, shoot. Then I think I deleted some of your pictures. I didn't realize you had some in this file.
Well, I started putting them in because I lost some. It's okay. I think my stuff's all there. I deleted some other stuff. That's also
that you deleted my stuff.
No, I didn't. I went up and deleted old stuff.
What in the world? Okay. Well,
I don't know what's happening right now, but y'all are watching the wonders of technology.
Indeed.
Yeah, I threw some photos in here because I had too many for the other thing. So.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's crazy. All right. Well, I will get my pictures up. There's 2 different places we can put pictures, and we kind of bounce around between the 2. Anyway, we've got confusion going due to that. So it's okay. Here we are. So this is inside their little hen house with them heading out into the yard. It didn't take very long after I put them in there for them to run out.
How big they are.
Right?
Wow.
They're
I forget how fast chickens grow.
So fast. So here they are out exploring their yard. So they have a little hen house with a light to help them stay warm at night, and then they have a little run as well. And this isn't where they're going to stay, but as long as they're this little and they need a light, we wanted to keep them up closer to the house. So this is where they'll be. And here's the guineas. They are scared to death. Guineas are the biggest, I hate to say this, but chickens in the world. And so they have been buried in this corner ever since we put them in there. It could easily take the guineas a couple of days to get brave enough to start exploring.
Poor babies.
But we will dip their beaks and make sure that they know where their food and water is. But yeah, guineas are, well, I read a study of, the stupidest chicken breeds people had, and a lot of people agreed it was actually not a chicken, it was a guinea for them. But but I think guineas are really special, so there they are. They're very sweet.
Cute, and they make cute sounds, but they are.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. As grown-ups, they are so cool. But I also want to share a picture of Zig Piggy. So this is Zig. This is back under the pine trees in my backyard. There's this whole area that really hardly gets anything but dappled sun, like you can kind of see over top of him. And this is where Zig has chosen to make his hovel. So what he's laying on is a huge pile of leaves and rocks and sticks and pine needles that he's dug up into this big pile that he goes and sleeps on. And Fiona sleeps on it too. She doesn't help make it though, but she does sleep on it. But Zig spends all of his time rearranging this and sleeping on it and rearranging it some more. And on our back porch, he has a pile of shredded blankets in the corner that he shredded himself because that's what he wants to do. That's how he wants to sleep. And so we gave up the fight years ago of battling him over blankets and just started letting him have things he could shred because that's what he wants to do. That's his nature. Yeah. So he has this big pile of shredded blankets in the house, down on the patio or the back porch, and he all winter long he'll keep shredding those blankets. Those blankets will be confetti by the time I've had enough and I sweep them up and we start over. But he has done the funniest thing the last fall and again this spring. So he has the big bed out back that he made and the bed in the house, and he interchanges them. I'll catch him heading outside with a mouthful of blankets to go put in this pile, and I've caught him coming in the house with mouthfuls of leaves to put in the in-house pile.
Oh, jeez. What a silly boy.
I'm not sure how Zig's brain works, but it's something like this. He's
Works
just a
like
happy guy, right? Yes. Just doing piggy business.
He's very sweet.
So, you guys, Sherri Papini, remember her?
How could we forget?
She has a, is it a documentary, an interview, a special coming out?
A little special.
It's special, all right. And she acts just exactly the way you might expect her to. This is on the ID channel.
She does act just.
I'm going to show you a very short clip of that so you guys can go watch it yourselves, but you have to get a load of this.
Oh. Oh my God. So the story that the world thinks they know is that I am a master manipulator who's fooled everyone.
No one's fooled.
That's my magic wand.
We're not fooled. No one is fooled. You're just a terrible
Sorry.
person.
I'm gonna do ridiculous things because some of this is ridiculous.
You are ridiculous.
The Sherri Papini that's out there, it's not me. She's not real. It's just this version of me that has been created to fit the narrative for the media's version of what happened.
Are you motherfucking kidding me right now?
I mean, first of all, sure, the media definitely creates a narrative, without a doubt. However, Sherri, yeah, she acts just like Lori, right? So what Sherri was accused of and convicted of and did some time for was that she disappeared in California back in, I'm going to say about 2017. She vanished while she was out jogging and was missing for about 30 days. There was a huge manhunt for her. A ton of public resources were used to try to find
Her
her.
community
Her
came
community
out
went crazy looking for her.
droves to help her family.
And then one day she just showed back up. And she claimed that some Mexicans forced her into a car and kidnapped her and had been torturing her for the last few weeks till she finally convinced them to let her go. And then, as it turned out, she's just a big damn liar, and she took off to spend time with her boyfriend. And that's what this was all about. And she actually did time for it. But now
Yeah, the
she's
cops were
coming
like,
out.
listen, ma'am, this
Yeah.
is a crime. You're a terrible person.
Mhm.
She went to prison for
Mhm.
this.
Yep. So now, yeah, she was so committed she tried to break her nose. Yeah. Yes.
Right?
To try to
Yes,
make it
and
all
such
real.
a disgusting racist. Two Mexican ladies did this to her.
Yes. Of course
Well,
it
and
was
just
Sherri.
the whole, she's so Lori-ish, you know,
Yeah.
just the little innocent little girl persona of the way that she presents herself and her physical appearance. Like,
Oh, yeah.
listen, bitch, we all know exactly who you are.
Somebody asked if she went to the Lori Vallow. Oh, it was Kristi. Did she go attend the Lori Vallow School of Denial? Oh, I think so. I don't know if I'm going to watch the whole thing because her attitude in that first 30 seconds was about more than I could do. But at any rate,
Yeah,
there you go.
I've not been able to bring myself to do it because
Mhm.
she's such a terror. And what she did to her family is so disgusting, in her community.
Yeah, her children
And
and her
now she's
husband.
got the gall to come on TV and try to make it all like this was just the media. No, bitch, this is
Well, she's
exactly
trying
what
to be
you
the
did.
victim. She's trying to be the victim that the person she was with tricked her, and none of this was her fault.
Bullshit. She just wanted to go have some fun with her little boy toy.
Well, and also Sherri, that I
Yes,
don't
she was married
whatever.
and kids. Yes,
Yes,
she did
it
this to
doesn't
her family. It's
matter
so
what the
gross.
media said. I'm more concerned with what was said in court that put you in prison,
Right.
because you can't blame that on the media. Sorry, dude. That's discovery. That's evidence. Yeah.
Yeah, it was just disgusting and horrible. And I really wish they weren't giving her so much attention now. Like she's
Mhm.
someone special.
Yeah. Yeah, someone did brand her. I'm sure it did hurt. Yeah, she was
Yeah,
committed.
she's pretty committed to the bit.
Yeah, very much. Yep. Yeah, it's so sad from her ex-husband's perspective. Yeah, I mean, this was horrifying.
Yeah.
Horrifying. But to me, it just gives you a pretty good peek into just how selfish this person is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So gross. And come on, I'm a mess. Apparently, yeah, bitch, you are. You
Yeah.
manipulated your family and your community and the police and wasted, like, one of the things she had to do was pay back all the money that was spent in the search for her. And
Was
it was like
supposed
over
to do.
$100,000. It was a lot of money. Yeah, it was supposed to. I don't know if she ever did, but it
Yeah.
was, she was ordered to. It's
Mhm.
just disgusting. Why would you do that?
Yeah.
I'm going to
Awful.
give my usual statement, and that's this. Just get a goddamn divorce.
Yeah. Yes. Quit doing these crazy things.
Yeah.
So there you have it. Watch it at your own peril with punching pillows, without a doubt.
Exactly.
So, Kristi, you have a crime news update for us. Should we start there?
Sure. We can definitely start there.
But
Sorry, I was
think I may
unprepared
have
because I had to
deleted
put on
some
the
of your
pop.
pictures.
Well, friends, we haven't had a chance to talk about this because so many other things have been happening. But let's talk about the New Orleans jailbreak.
Yes.
Because what?
That's heating up. Yeah.
Here we go. This right here is how 10 guys got out of a jail
Yeah.
in prison. Or in not in
jail.
prison, a jail
Yeah.
in New Orleans.
Mm-hmm.
10 guys escaped. I guess it is a prison. It's the New Orleans Parish Prison.
Oh, okay.
This happened last week. And 5 of these men are still at large. They've rounded up. Let's see. Where are some of my other pictures here? Oh, I think you did delete some of my.
I know. I told you.
Well, here are some of them when they got out the door or got out the bathroom. Here's another view of what they did. So basically, see this toilet sink thing? This reminds me a little bit of what we were looking at yesterday that is in Lori Vallow's cell.
Yeah.
They were cutting out a hole behind this thing so they could move it and then put it back in place. And so they were hiding the fact that they were, digging that, cutting that out. Let me locate a picture of the 10 men. I saw the funniest headline today, and it was New Orleans jailbreak considered an inside job. 2 women arrested on the outside. I was like,
what?
Okay. Yeah. But they had some help. So these are the 10 guys.
Yeah.
5 of them have been rearrested now. But the rest of them still on the lam.
Yeah.
I mean, I kind of got to give them points for like creativity and teamwork because this was pretty impressive. But they did have some help, unfortunately. I think it would be pretty hard to pull off something like this without some help.
Mm-hmm.
Because, I mean, there were a lot of things that had to be coordinated. For one, they all had to be in the same place at the right time to be able to get out of there, and people are kept apart a lot in prison.
Yeah.
And so, of course, police are working very hard to catch these folks.
Mm-hmm.
But there are a couple of people, 2 women that were arrested today. One who gave food to one of the escapees, and another who was suspected to have been in contact via phone with one of the former prisoners. So a couple of women who maybe are harboring or helping them.
Okay.
They've been charged with each one with a felony, for being accessories after the fact.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I mean, certainly this is not okay and they need to be they need to be caught. However, there's a part of me that's like, do it, run, you got it. It's hard to not be a little bit like impressed by the fact that they pulled this off with 10 of them.
Right. This wasn't a small number. Yeah.
Right.
The fact that they were able to keep it quiet.
Right.
And organize
so they had,
is pretty wild.
Totally. And they had help from a prison maintenance worker. His name was Sterling Williams. Because one thing that he did is he shut off the water. Because I wondered, like, how are they moving that toilet out of the way without like making a big old mess? Well, that's because he shut off the water to the plumbing in there so that toilet and sink could be moved without, creating a big mess and water everywhere and sound and, getting people's attention.
For sure. Well, they were out for a hot minute, weren't they, before they realized they were missing?
Yeah. They got away for a bit. Now, Sterling Williams' attorney is saying now that he thought it was just a clogged toilet and that's why he shut off the water. Sure.
Mhm.
I mean, whatever. He obviously, there was some help.
You can see a plugged toilet, Sterling.
You really can. I think you would be able to tell.
Yeah.
So
wow.
the men who are still missing: Leo Tate, Jermaine Donald, Derek Groves, Lenton Van Buren, and Antoine Massey. Corey Boyd, Gary Price, Kendall Miles, Robert Moody, and DeKennan Dennis have been rearrested.
Mm-hmm.
The escapees range in age between 19 and 42 years old, and were in prison for a variety of crimes that include murder, assault, and domestic abuse. So not good, dangerous people,
Yeah.
violent people out there in the world.
Yeah.
I'll try not to root for them too much. It's just like, it's such an underdog thing where you're like, oh man, this was kind of impressive. Like,
Mm-hmm.
but
Yeah.
we don't want them out there hurting people either.
No. New Orleans doesn't need nor deserve this at all. Yeah.
Yeah. In the cell, and I don't have this picture, but it's really funny. In the cell where they escaped, there was a message written above the hole that says, "Too easy." Too easy. LOL. Mm-hmm.
Well, when y'all get put back in, it's not going to be too easy anymore because your lives are about to get a lot harder.
Yeah, because these are major crimes they'll be charged with for escape.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll put them in prison longer and,
And maybe higher security venues and this will change things for all of them.
will.
Right? Most of them were found really close to where they escaped from. What the one guy was just walking down Bourbon Street, I believe. Just
right. I'm like, don't you think you ought to at least get out of New Orleans? Like, what are you doing, buddy? Like,
Yeah.
they're looking for you guys, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, unfortunately, maybe together they were intelligent, but separately, some of them not so much.
Yeah.
One of them was asleep on a bus stop. Well, I mean, literally, where are they going to
Yeah.
go?
Right.
They don't have any money. If they go anywhere to people that they know, family members or anything, that's right exactly where the police are going to be looking.
Right.
Plus, then they're implicating their family members and friends in their escape.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it was rough because there's not a lot of places for them to go. But the 5 that are missing,
It's
maybe
pretty
they wised up
wild.
and got the hell out of town.
Yeah. It's wild. Well, it'll be pretty interesting to see what happens with the other 5 if they catch them, if any of them ever if any of them actually make it away for good, or if they I would imagine they
Right.
don't, because that's a pretty hard world to
It
function
is,
in.
unless you've really got somebody that's 100% willing to go all in
Yeah.
on like aiding and abetting. Because
Mhm.
I mean, you're risking felonies of your own just to help
Yeah.
them. Right. I think
Absolutely.
it is a take on the Big Easy. They're too easy, LOL. It's kind of funny. It's kind of not funny, but that's what's going on. Right. I think so, Matt, too, Max. I think that they will catch them eventually and get them all back. But they might want to really take a look at their facility there. I mean, it's a little terrifying that they were able to get through that wall to the outside world. Like,
Yeah.
what the hell, man? Probably an old facility that needs a big refit.
Mhm.
That's what I'm saying.
Agree.
So with that, I'm going to kick the mic back to you for I actually don't know what.
A crime news update.
Oh, another crime news update. Let's do it.
Yeah. I'm going to talk a little bit about a crime that happened in Billings, Montana. And Billings is a town I always kind of have an eye on because, my daughter went to college in Montana, not far from Billings, and I've spent quite a bit of time in Billings over the years because of her, softball adventures and passing through there and staying there sometimes, playing ball there and
Sure.
things. And I have friends in Billings and so on and so forth. But part of the reason is because Billings is the largest city in Montana, and it is one of the most dangerous cities per capita in the country.
Yeah.
And they have some wild crimes.
Is Yellowstone accurate? No, it's not that bad, but
Right? But it's not good.
Mhm.
In Billings, you have a 1 in 19, or 19 out of, hold on. I'll have to give it to you correctly and not try and do this with my own brain. But who knows what would happen? uh, Montana's known as the last best place. And it is. It is. But unfortunately, Billings has become the opposite of that.
Mhm.
So, according to the Neighborhood Scout, which is a website that searches cities and towns and grades them according to their safety, Billings got an F. An F. This was in
Wow.
2024. Yes, you have a 1 in 19 chance of being a victim of a violent or property crime in Billings.
My God. That
Mm-hmm.
is way, way above the national average.
Mm-hmm.
The hell?
And we've talked about some crimes like surrounding Billings, especially in Hardin in that
Yes.
area where there have been some MMIW cases that we've covered in the past. This is not an MMIW case, but this happened in Billings last Friday night. So I want to introduce you to this sweet gentleman here. Let me get to my notes here. This is Keith Breckenridge. So Keith Breckenridge, he's from Hardin, but he lives in Billings. He is a retired volunteer firefighter and just an all-around good guy. Man, to read the comments on the articles, his obituary, everything that is said about Keith is just what a good dude he is and how beloved he is, what a beloved uncle he is, the things that he's done for his nieces and nephews. It's just an amazing human.
Mm-hmm.
Well, weirdly, and Keith he's never had a bust or dust up with the law or anything like that whatsoever. He was, however, a very kind hearted, willing to help, gentle giant kind of soul
Mm-hmm.
who maybe was too trusting and got in a scrape trying to help somebody. Nobody knows for sure. They're still investigating it. And unfortunately, from some of the things I've seen out of Billings in the past, their investigations can be a little dicey, though. I hope I'm wrong on this one. But
It's a small town.
some neighbors reported hearing some screaming, what sounded like a violent altercation in the alley behind this row of homes. So, this is the alley. And the
Okay.
police were called and they found Keith in the alley, and he'd been stabbed multiple times. He was deceased.
Oh no.
There was a post by the Billings Police Department that day on 5/16. Officers were dispatched to the alley near Adams Street and Roosevelt for a report of a male lying in the alley. Upon arrival, officers located the male who was deceased and appeared to have sustained both stab and blunt force injuries. The victim has been identified as a 51-year-old Billings resident. BPD detectives were notified and are investigating the incident as a homicide.
Oh, Sandra, save that for your only pause. What are you doing? Sorry.
So we know that his wallet was actually stolen a few days before this happened.
Mm.
We also know that his truck ended up in Hardin.
Hmm.
So
Well,
was
he
he
was a first responder, right?
he was a retired first responder. Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. So it appears that perhaps also because of the lack of blood, it's suspected that he actually didn't die in that alley, or he did die. That he wasn't. That's not where the initial attack occurred, but his body was placed there. So there's it.
Mm.
It's still pretty mysterious. Also, the FBI is involved.
Well, I could think of a couple of reasons for that.
Yep. Yeah. The main reason would be that this has some crossover to one of the reservations there in
Yeah,
Hardin.
good.
Yeah. So
Or
there's
it
a
could be a
lot,
cross state lines kind of
could be
situation,
in a cross state
or,
line situation. Yeah.
or an online murder plot, or
Yeah. Yeah.
could be a lot
But
of things.
I'm glad the FBI is involved. I hope that gets this case solved. Um, it's just really scary. So this is in Yellowstone County, and his family is just, as you can imagine, just unbelievably devastated and
Yeah,
shocked. Keith wasn't somebody who ran with a rough crowd or did drugs or, you know, he was none of the things that, sometimes you think might expose you to violent crime in any way whatsoever. He was just a peaceful, quiet, happy, kind guy. His family, his nickname in his family was the Gentle Giant. So I wanted to cover
but he
his
was the kind
case.
of guy that got involved and helped people too.
Yes, helped people.
Sometimes you can help the wrong kind of person too and get
Yeah,
really hurt.
this is true. So I'll show you Keith one more
Mm,
time. So I just wanted to cover his story because, well, for one, we don't cover things out of Montana very often, and I've seen several things come up lately that I wanted to cover and didn't get to, but I wanted to cover Keith's. I will keep a close eye on this case. If there's an arrest, I'll let you guys know. But
for
as of
sure.
now, nothing.
That's really sad.
Yeah, yeah,
I'm very sorry for his family
right.
and for whatever the hell's going on here.
Yeah, nobody deserved this. Yep.
Mm-mm. No, terrible, terrible way to die.
Yeah, yeah, and his poor family, damn it. So, but with that, I know that you have a dumb criminals case, and I do too. So we started serious, but we're gonna end the day on the funnier side of crime.
I really like to end the week this way.
Mm.
Let me tell you a little story. About this man right here. His name.
This guy's a douchebag. I already know it. It's
He is.
obvious.
The picture says it all. You're like, oh God, look at that guy. You won't
Yeah.
be surprised to know that this man, his name is Matthew Piercy. He's 48 from Palo Cedro, California. And shocker or not, he's been running a Ponzi scheme. He looks like a Ponzi scheme kind of guy, don't you think?
Yeah.
So he was, collecting money from people all over the place, investors, $35 million
Whew.
for into his companies. He had two companies, Family Wealth Legacy and Zola. Those are, pretty nebulous names, aren't they? And what happened is he's taken all these investments and telling people how much they're going to get back out of these great companies, and then he's just living it up. He's not actually registered as an investment
Great.
broker or anything. He just telling people he is. He's one of those guys that just talks big, and then you kind of get sucked in by, I think, one of
Hmm.
those kind of guys. So, people started to get wise because he just was buying houses and all kinds of fancy stuff, and I think people were starting to wonder what's going to happen. Why aren't we getting any money return on our investments, right?
Hmm.
Um, so, and sometimes he was like using one investor's money to, give another one a little bit just to make it look like something was going, he had a
Uh-huh.
real Ponzi scheme going on.
Yeah.
When he figured out that he was under investigation, he undertook a witness tampering campaign to convince witnesses and his victims to not respond to grand jury subpoenas. And actually, several people did delay producing documents. And, while that was happening, he took another $775,000 from his investments into his own bank account. So this
Holy
happened
cow.
a little while back, but he took the police on a little chase in residential neighborhoods and then onto a California highway.
Mm-hmm.
And then he reached the shore.
What's one to
And
do?
he jumped out of his vehicle. And this is a real indication that you have too much money in your life. If you just happen to have on you one of these little guys right here, which is an undersea scooter. And so he did one of these. He pulled one of these. This is not him, but this is what it looks like. He jumped out of the water and, you know, threw on some gear and grabbed his little scooter and took off into the water. Well, there was one problem with his plan, and that is he was not in the ocean. He was, in fact, in Lake Shasta.
Oh.
And, you know, you
So there's
can't
only
just
so
get
far
off
you
and
can go.
you can't go off into the wild blue yonder when you're in a lake. Here's a photo of vehicles on the shore.
Mm-hmm.
And now let me show you this picture right here. You see that little trail in the water and the little snorkel poking up? That would be our guy right there. This was his brilliant plan. He only got away for about 20 minutes
Mm-hmm.
before he was, in fact, apprehended. And he has just been sentenced. This all happened back in 2020. But I just find it hilarious. Like, are you some kind of cartoon villain? I had this vision of him, like, sitting on the bottom of a lake with a big straw poking out up into the water, out, breathing out of it. You know, like, what are you doing? You think this is going to save you at this point? Well, newsflash, it did not. He was caught, and he has been sentenced now, I believe, to 20 million or 20 million. Yeah, no, 20 years in prison. It's believed that he cost his investors about $26 million. He pled guilty to 27 counts of wire fraud, money laundering, and witness tampering in this situation. I just cannot imagine him. The police were like, what is this dumbass doing? Oh my God, he's got one of those underwater scooters. You're like, where are you going to go? Across the lake?
The fact
Really?
that it leaves a trail is so funny.
Yeah,
Because
like there's no secret to where he was at, you know. He was just that
you're
little
not in a
scooter
super
is,
stealth submarine there, bud.
you are definitely not.
I
Also,
wonder
that's the
what his
only
end
goes
game
about.
was.
I do not think he had one. That little thing, by the way, only goes 4 miles an hour, so it's just putting along. I've foiled them now.
Oh,
No.
that is hilarious.
No, sir, you have not. So, he was able to pay back about 8 million of the 35 million he raised through this scheme.
Oh. So a lot of people lost big money with this
Big money, which is
jackass.
very sad, and I'm not laughing about that at all. It
no.
is simply what a dumbass he is. That was absolutely hilarious. Also, while he was in jail, he was trying to communicate with a couple of individuals because he had a couple of accomplices who were visiting him in jail, that he was giving them instructions through what he thought was coded language to get the stuff out of a storage locker that he had rented, using a fake California driver's license. This guy is such an idiot. In the locker, because the police went straight over to it and got the stuff. There was a wig, because of course there was. Also, 31,000 Swiss francs, which is about $37,000 in cash. I don't know if this was his disguise and his getting out of jail money. He was getting the hell out of there money, probably. I don't know if he thought he could ride the scooter all the way to the storage unit, because no, you can't. Anyway, shall we all just have a pretty good laugh at this incredibly dumb criminal, which is, yeah, fuck you, goodbye, 20 years. See you.
Love it. That is wild.
Right?
All right.
Oh, Paula says my power wheelchair goes 6 miles an hour. Right? But it doesn't go underwater. That's true, Paula. I mean, that's the one downside, I guess.
Yeah. How are you ever going to run from the cops, Paula? How? How?
I'm like, man, you watched way too many cartoons in the 90s if you think that's how you were getting out of here.
Yeah. Well, that's something. Okay, then. Well, I too have a dumb criminal for you.
Yes, you do. Oh, no. I'm in the wrong place. Damn it. Yes, you do.
This actually happened in Texas in January, but I just saw it today and I just thought it was great. We're talking about a gentleman named Dakota Kennedy. And Dakota, well, he's a car thief, or he'd like to be. He'd like to be. Let's say it that way.
Oh,
Because
dear.
he's one of those criminals who need to quit criming because they're super bad at it. And Dakota, you suck. You super suck. You gotta stop. So this is Dakota. And Dakota had, in fact, stolen a car and had it parked at a residence where he was. And the license plate monitor thing had pinged that car, or binged, if you will. And so the police pull up in an unmarked car with some cops in a car, looking at that car, and they've been staying back from it because they're trying to see who comes out and gets in it so that they can make an arrest. Well, nobody comes out for a while, and then finally a door opens in one of these residences. And again, they're staying way back. They're not right up in there, of course. And a man comes out of a house, and he approaches the car and hops in as if he's going to steal it. The problem is, it's full of cops. Dakota, my God.
Worst car thief ever. Ever.
I mean, first of all, we've read many times about people stealing cop cars, ambulances, fire trucks. Like, it happens. But you were going to steal a cop car that had people in it, Dakota. I mean,
And not
Yeah.
just people, cops.
also,
I don't know. He wants to be a
unfortunate-
badass, but that bowl cut just gives him away immediately.
he looks like his mom cuts his hair.
He does.
Mhm.
Mhm.
He really does. I mean, great clips would do better than that, Dakota.
Definitely.
They would. But also, Dakota just can't catch a break. He also had the key to the original stolen car in his pocket.
Why, of course he did.
Yeah. So that implicated him there as well. So unfortunately, Dakota is facing quite a few charges for theft and other behaviors, and it's probably going down the road for a hot minute. So, Dakota, I think that you should use this time to reflect and realize that you're a terrible criminal, and it's definitely time to give it up.
When you get out, just go get a job at Best Buy and be a normal person.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yep.
Don't
It's
try
your-
this again.
It's your best bet. Fate hates you, for one.
Mhm.
You know.
Yeah.
It's the chips are stacked against you in a lot of ways. So, time to knock it off. It's
I mean,
time.
imagine the stupidity of stealing a police car at all.
It was
Those would be,
unmarked. In his defense, it was unmarked. But I don't know about you guys, but and maybe it's not the same everywhere, but around here, unmarked police cars are very obviously police cars from their license plate.
Yeah,
But
you can tell from their license plate that they're still a police car.
mhm.
And maybe they can't there. I don't know, but just don't do crimes, friends. Just don't do crimes.
There's that. Or know who's in the car before you hop in it. Because and this is just me. This is just me. If I were to steal a car, and don't forget, I was a repo agent for a few years. Like I know how to
Right.
steal a car. I've done it legally several times. But you don't want to take a car that has someone in it at all.
No.
Anyone.
That's like carjacking. That's a lot more serious crime than just car theft.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yep. We did one time have a car we were trying to repo, and a guy got in it and refused to get out, and said that if we take it, that'll make it kidnapping. So we can't take it. So we called the sheriff's office and said, "Hey, this car we told you we were going to come and take, we're still taking it, but there's this drunk idiot in it that won't get out and says if we take it, we're going to be charged with kidnapping." And they're like, "Yeah, take it. That's his problem." So we pulled it to the end of the driveway, and guess who got out? Yeah.
Oh my God. Right? Can you imagine the cops are like, this is our lucky day. We don't even, criminals are just coming right to us, getting right in our car.
Right.
Oh, God, that's funny.
They're like, wow, that was super simple. We should probably go out for pizza or something. We should celebrate. Yes.
Definitely. Yeah.
Wild. Well, that's what we have got. So
Mhm.
we will be back on Tuesday at 3 p.m. Mountain Time. We won't have a show on Monday due to Memorial Weekend and us going camping, so we will just not be around. But we'll be back on Tuesday, I'm sure, with some shenanigans to share. And, crime keeps on criming. So I hope that you guys have a fantastic weekend. Take good care of yourselves. Do something fun, please. That's an order.
Oh, let's say this. We
Yes.
are aware that there's some stuff floating around about a filing from Lori Vallow. It is not officially filed with the courts. Therefore, we are not going to report on it until we know for sure, because you know how rumors start, and that's how rumors start. So when there are official filings with the court, apparently there's some handwritten stuff that's been leaked somewhere. When we see it officially, we will happily discuss it, respond to it. But we want to make sure that it's real before we share it with you.
Yeah, we'll be a little careful on that. But hopefully by next week, something is filed with the courts and we can bring
I
it
would
to you.
imagine.
Yeah. All righty. Well, thanks for being here. This has been yet another production of the True Crime Squad.
Bye, everybody.
Season 6, we're back again. Kristi and Katie, your crime time friends. Stories, justice, laughs collide. True Crime Squad, come join the ride. Grab the clues, let's take a stand. For victims' voices, hand in hand. True Crime Squad, it's time to shine. Season 6, your turn, your time. True Crime Squad, where justice meets hilarity.